Right, I'm just a little bit further on from my last video. You can see the part of the club there, the sailing club there. I'm underneath this big horse chestnut, and you can see there's virtually no competition for food and resources any close by. There's a holly bush, there's a small holly bush there, but this tree looks absolutely fantastic. You can see very little damage there, very little damage there. Looks in really good condition. So I'm going to carry on walking now using my my other camera, my main camera, but again I don't know how charged the batteries are on this, so I might have to stop filming pretty suddenly. Come to another one here. Again you can see little bits and pieces. Again it's not exactly laden with fruit. Again it's a very big tree. There's plenty of fruit out there on the edge, but you can see bits of damage, but nothing too debilitating there. This one's not really started to colour up yet. Oh yeah, there's actually loads there, loads of fruit. It's beautiful when the sun comes out through the leaves. So let's carry on. Again, not a lot of competition there. We've got some young saplings at the side, an ash sapling there. This is full of leaf and full of fruit, but there does seem to be quite a lot of leaf minor on that one. Again, part of this could be down to genetic variation within, even within, if all these horse chestnuts when they were planted were all of from similar stock, there is still, and there's no saying they were, there is still going to be genetic variation there. So here now we come to another one. That's absolutely full of leaf, and again hardly any damage on that one. It's not particularly, well, it is quite big actually, but it's quite narrow. Trunk's quite narrow. There's a big sycamore there, but it's quite a distance away. And if it's in a really good bit of soil there, you know, just the difference in the structure of the soil in one particular spot can have such an impact. So we come further along, and again this one seems to be a little bit more damage. Bigger tree, so probably under more stress. There's another sycamore there, but the sycamore looks a little bit closer. And there's some sycamore saplings there. Now it may be that if in time some of these trees need thinning out, that might help the situation. Another one here looks lovely. Hardly any damage on that at all. Noticeable that the soil's raised up here, the wall is further back. Even though there are other trees around, if you have a deeper root run, if you have better quality soil, then you get, even on quite a, I mean that trunk is quite narrow, but the in fact, what am I looking at here? Yeah, of course, that's not, it's the one behind. Or is it this one as well? Yeah, it's that one as well. Just that that's got straight bark and the other one's more twisted. Yeah, that's an oak tree. What am I looking at? Yeah, so it's the one behind. It's just that the foliage up there is so intermingled. I'm thinking which one's which. So yeah, that's the horse chestnut there. And again, it's the roots are in shade. There's probably going to be more moisture there, and hence you have all this wonderful foliage. And it's the oak doesn't seem to be having too much of an effect on it. In fact, if it's the oak there, some mildew there that seems to be suffering a little bit more, because again its roots are out in probably a shallower bit of the soil that's a bit drier, whereas the horse chestnut, the roots are in shade and it's probably got more moisture, and the soil is probably deeper. So let's just look further on. My guess, another one here, quite again, there's a little bit of damage. The leaves are really big on this. Some damage there, but some of the leaves look quite okay. The tree that's a silver birch, so the tree is right in there in the shady area. So again, nice shady undergrowth, retain moisture. I think, especially as this disease seems to be more prevalent in the southeast, I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that the southeast is drier and the soils tend to be lighter than up here on the edge of the Peak District, or in the Peak District. The soils around here are clay, they're acidic. We tend to get bigger trees up here. They tend to stay greener longer during warm summers. And again, so trees up here aren't under the same kind of stress as they are further down south. Unless, of course, you plant them in conditions that are similar to down south or in the east of the country, where soils may be freer draining. Certainly in built-up areas, they will probably be shallower. And certainly as I was driving to the east coast this summer, it was incredibly noticeable how, this is going back to August, how many of the trees were really suffering, really brown. Virtually all of the leaves had turned on them, where you come back to Sheffield and you go into the Peak District, and like I showed out at Bamford, the video I did a couple of weeks ago, there's virtually nothing wrong with them. And I think a lot of it is to do with climatic conditions. And it's as simple as that. So we seem to run out of horse chestnuts. Oh, there's another one there, a little bit of damage, but nothing that seems to be major debilitating out here. And of course, if this moth has come over from, is it Greece? We may be at the kind of northern edge of its range, and maybe the colder winters as well may kill it off. So it may be a combination of factors, but I still come back to the idea that if you give a tree the best possible start in life, the best possible planting position that you can, regarding soil conditions, regarding the effects of wind, regarding sun, how much sun it gets in the day, if you give it the best conditions that it's evolved for, then you're giving the tree the best chance to fight off any pests, insects and diseases that might be around. And that's the position that we should all be starting with. I'm just going to come to, I think this is a sycamore here. I know it changes. This usually is one of the best looking ones because it usually changes not just yellow but orange. And I think it's what am I about sycamore? Horse chestnut. I think this is one of the best horse chestnuts that I'm coming up to now. I think. Is it going to prove me wrong? Here, other ones drop in there. Yeah, there's one here. And one here. Yeah, lovely colours. And again, very little damage. Quite a big tree, and again, not much competition. The tree with its big leaves casts its own shade, which I think is very much an evolved part of a tree. The bigger the leaf, the more sunlight it can capture, and the bigger the leaf, the shadier it keeps the roots. So the roots will stay, the ground, the soil will stay damp for longer, and the tree has a better chance of survival. It's basic evolution in progress there. So beautiful light on the dam, beautiful big oak, sunlight coming through it, and this horse chestnut. Absolutely magnificent, with a little bit of damage, but nothing compared to some of the trees elsewhere south and east of Sheffield. So with that, scan across the dam on this beautiful autumn afternoon. I'll say bye for now.